I'm gonna send you the dialogue here in a sec.
Okay.
All right, we are live with Rookie Comics. I've got my boys here. I got Arsenal and Sasquatch. I don't know if anybody knows you by Sasquatch yet. I love the name. That one just kind of came out of nowhere, but we got Walt Reno and Mike Anderson in the house. There it is. Little to the right. There it is. Oh, left. Your left. My right. There it is. Oh, turn it. And other way. And the boom! Magic. Right? That's Sasquatch right there. He's got my boy. He's got Deadpool on his Rookie Comics mug. I got my boy Deadpool here. Father's Day gift. I'm sorry if I offended you. There's nothing like getting a Father's Day gift saying, I'm sorry if I offended you. But we are ready to rock. Apologies up front and right in the beginning. I know it's not even 8 o'clock yet, but Busty Babes will not be making it. They got stuck having fun out on Lake Walcott. If you know what that is, good for you. If you don't, you should. So don't suck as much, you know what I'm saying?
And if you know about it, you totally understand why they're there.
Walt starts laughing. Don't suck, bro. Oh man, I've been traveling, doing some travel ball teams, and I see these coaches with these shirts that say "Don't suck" on it. I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah, let's go. That's where it's at. Right now, we're sneak peek looking at a cover for our Evic 4. Or Woe 4. Mike?
Which we worked on from scratch on our last live.
Yeah, that's right. We did this on a live. If you want to go back and watch that, do that. Like it, share it, subscribe. We're small time, but we're up to 20 followers. I'm excited about that. I mean, like literally most everybody that's here is like friends and family, and they've been following us for... I mean, yeah, we're like these extensive comic book creators, right? 2 years, right? We've been doing this like maybe 2 years. It started out like I do uniforms on the side, or not on the side, as a profession, and wanted to be able to draw things that people walked in the store saying, you know. And if I wanted a duck eating an elephant, I wanted to be able to like draw a duck eating an elephant out of my head, and at that point, I couldn't do it. And so, yeah, I got zombie ducks representing. That's our men's league softball team, man. That's cool. Yeah, that's fun. That's it.
Story behind it too.
There's a great story. There's a great story behind that. We'll get into it. We'll have to have Kyle on to share his zombie duck story. It's cool. Yeah. So sorry, no Busty Babes tonight. You get a look at us, which is okay too. And we missed a weekend, you know, things got crazy. But I'm really excited about tonight because I have got, we've been sitting on some artwork for a long time, and we're going to practice being raw and vulnerable. Mike and I got together and we're reviewing it, and he said, hey man, this is a perfect opportunity.
I'm not able to open the live. Are we live on?
Someone was on. Oh, we got one person on now.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
You're seeing it. Okay.
Yeah. But so Mike got with me. He was like, "Hey man, we're gonna scrap a lot of this art," and I had a feeling too. We got our script. Mike's ready. We're gonna go through some script today. And we're just going to start tearing the art apart, and we got to redo some stuff. And I had the thought, I just knew, I had a feeling. I was like, this isn't where he's going. This isn't where he's wanting to go. Got with him on a lunch break. It was like, hey man, this is what I got. And he's like, awesome, but no, like it's just not what we're wanting. And that's what we do in this industry, right? Like we have someone who writes a book, and then they send it off to some knobber like me, and
so to paint some picture there.
Well, you know, it's what Mike could talk about. Like I had that conversation with him when we started, right? Like we all got together and I was like, Mike, you have to stand your ground sometimes. If my art starts changing the story, a conversation has to be had. And even though it's a hard conversation, you have to have it because we have to represent the words that you're putting down on paper. So, you want to talk a little bit about that, Mike, or?
But without that, yes, your art has changed the story, but it's changed it for the good. The things we've kept from the first book to the third book.
Sure.
I mean, without your first rabbit hole that you went on in book 3, with the Pyropuchis, I mean, that was not even part of my original script, and I don't think anybody's going to say that doesn't belong in the book.
Right. Yeah.
So, being able to come to terms and make things mold, if it works, we definitely want to take it.
Right.
Now, keeping out of this script I wrote a year ago, and so when I wrote book 4, it's probably been 8 months ago, and so I went back through, we kind of read through it, and then right before you went down your rabbit hole of drawing, I rewrote the whole thing, and I resent it to you, and there was one sentence I failed to edit out.
You talked to me about it. I just didn't remember that conversation.
To him about it, but I didn't take it out of his script. I didn't resend it, and so when he ran with that, he got to that one point and then rabbit holed and didn't get to any of the rewrite.
Right.
So great opportunity for discussion here, and we decided to put a pin in it and save it for a live.
Right. And so this is JoJo the Brave, right? And David. What's David's name in here? Do you have David? Yeah. And so Davad is a David D. He's the man. He actually drew his character. And threw it out there to me, and we did a little bit of reamping on the other live with this, but he's got some cool powers where they're a lot like Nightcrawler, where he can portal, like he can go from one place to another and portal, and he's very fast and athletic and different things. And JoJo's really fast on her feet thinking and is Commander Walt's daughter, and she's going to have a bigger part in this book. We're picking up obviously at the end of our Origins of Woe there, where she was saving Commander Walt and Marty after they stole the briefcase, and they have no idea what it's in. So our story begins here. So what we got going on is this is.
You want me to read some script?
Yep, 100%.
So I opened up with page 1 was what you're showing everybody was the title, and then page 2, blast took out the entire opening as Marty and Walt fall through. They land aboard a small shuttle. Beautiful teen girl turns and says, "That was close." Walt responds, "That a girl, JoJo."
Right.
Great cat.
And so here,
kind of a shout out to your relationship with her, right?
Right. And so here I start back a little bit later. There's a conversation that Commander Walt's having with JoJo, as him and Marty are trying to escape with the briefcase. And so like JoJo coming in hot, and she's outside in a ballerina pose on top of her motorcycle, tagging the building with the rebel symbol. She's like, ready to go. Obviously there's no words on this. This is just literally I'm getting my my circles, my triangles, what I want the image to look like, so I can have vision before I start inking. Haven't even gone through a rendering process where I want shadows and different things. Shut that down way before, because you'll lose a lot of time as an artist if you go through and finish things and then come back to your writers. So I just wanted to, so I just wanted basically gesture drawings, some background in there. Some of it has more detail because I just got excited. But So she's sitting here, she's getting on her motorcycle, getting ready, and then we've got some aerial view. I wanted to kind of set some scenery here, like that she's high in the air on a exit that doesn't have railing on it. It's totally abandoned. It's not to be used as an exit. It's completely locked down. And then the blast. So here comes Commander Walt with Marty out of this blast.
And that's right to that last page of our last book.
And that's right where the last page of the last book comes out. So boom, they blast out. They're falling through the sky. This is really, really complicated for you to understand, I guess, as a writer. So basically, Marty falls on top of Walt while JoJo's looking back at him. You can see his mustache or his beard is here, and then Marty just like lands right on top of him. And then a scene of our city, like close up. So I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be scratched yet.
In fact, everything so far is all good.
Okay.
And yeah, a little different than the original script, but that's what I love about it.
Right on.
Are you, Reno? I mean, obviously it doesn't read the same. I do want to have a girl JoJo in there somewhere, which will come into our editing when we do.
And I'll make her more like circular. Like she'll have like pink on and different things like that. She picked her outfit out, and it's very I don't know, Mondo style. Like it's, you know, she's kind of got the Star Wars Mondo gear on.
If anybody knows Rebels, Star Wars Rebels, it's designed from Sabine. Even the whole idea that she tags things and some of that personality, right?
Well, and Margaret's personality, or Jocelyn's personality, sorry, I got $2. Jocelyn's personality is very, like, she loves ballet and cheerleading and sports, and art is, like, both of my daughters are very, very artistic. And so the tagging thing would just be definitely something they would do in a situation like this.
So before we continue on, I'll give you a little more dialogue.
Yeah, go.
Shots rain down on them as they fly away, the craft taking little damage. And then show a dynamic picture of Martian City with the trio aboard the escape craft, which you have. And then this was the part that I failed to edit out. The commander takes me from hideout to hideout.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I said, because I changed it to as we travel, and then they have a conversation.
Right.
But he ran down a rabbit hole with that sentence.
Absolutely.
The commander takes hideout.
Yeah.
Which, unfortunately, we're not writing a 40-page book, or this would be all great. We're writing a 10-page book.
Right. We're trying to cram 40 pages of information into a 10-page book. And yep. I mean, pictures are easy. Like, picture says 1,000 words or 1,000,000 words or whatever, and we can do it. So that's all right. But for fun, right here, Walt, what would you put? Like, if you heard that? So, Commander Walt took me to a bunch of hideouts. What comes to your head?
Oh, well, strip clubs, bars.
Ah! he's a teenager.
I
would think, like, being a teenager, I'd say, takes me back to want to see a dead body kind of thing.
Right. So, like,
have their secret hiding spots out in the woods, or
very remote.
Yeah. Remote, desolate place where they can go. Just have a little clubhouse or whatnot built out.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the sticks.
Somewhere out in the sticks, and I thought the same kind of thing as far as, I mean, they're rebels, right? So like underground layers, kind of learn the ropes, where to find equipment, hardware, different things like that. I honestly don't even remember what I read. So I got them sitting in the back of the car, looking at the city. What up, Aurora?
I have kitty cat on it, on my dress.
On your dress. Awesome.
Yeah, I like Hello Kitty.
You do? You like Hello Kitty?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, if you don't know, Aurora is actually a star in our book, too. She's on a poster. She's our poster child.
On book 2. That's true.
Our book.
Literally poster child.
Which was not a
Bye-bye.
at all.
And so right here, I'll see if I can get it focused in. So I've got them traveling around and a lot of underground cities, right? Like underground storage. I've got a basically a bio. Oh, can't touch on this screen because I'm not on this screen. There you go. I've got like biosignals and stuff like that, and I've got them stationing up next to some underground buildings. So basically, this is like the infrastructure of the city that's in the air. So you've got huge pillars down here. Clouds are still here, and they're going into this underground layer. Then they're flying off. Something I definitely think we'd probably have to change is these spacecrafts from them getting chased. Then I've got a picture of her like high up, or them higher up. This is Joe, high up on a ledge, watching rebels come down, and then they're flying down with. So Walt's learning, or Marty's learning how to use the rocket boots, right? Like, and he's not good at it yet. So like learning the ropes, using the rocket shoes. They're all flying down off of that. Marty falls down on the ground, crash, boom, whatever. And then this is where I was like, yeah, we're going to have to get...
I'll be in the director's cut edition, guys.
Yeah. And then I've got Captain Walt and Joe coming down. It's like, yeah, there's a learning curve, and then him getting up here. A lot of fun. Just not what we were looking for,
Well,
so,
actually, everything's looking for it, just not in a 10-page book.
Right, we're not moving quick enough, and so some of these they're just going to have to be scrapped, and.
But I'm definitely we're gonna have to go through and use some of them, because there is one page that we're gonna be able to allow with a bunch of dialogue, so we can scratch or put in some of that event, the driving, the scenery, with a dialogue, a conversation that's being had. So we will be able to use some of that, just not all of it.
So I've been waiting. I mean, we've been like in the couple weeks now that we've been waiting, and we talked about it earlier. I'm gonna say it again just so it's on the stream. I've been waiting for this moment right here, right? Because that's all I got drawn right now. But I've been waiting for this moment right now. But so long that I've got 4 books of Origin of Barrel, like, ready for approval. They're penciled. I just got to get with you guys on off camera with Barrel. I've been talking to Barrel on. I started in the beginning because I wanted to just represent Tasha well in that one, just to make sure, like what she wanted in her character and different things, and got their approval on what she looked like going forward. And a lot of fun. But through this time, the time down was good, actually. We made some decisions on some graphic novels in the future. We're going to be doing some graphic novels. So if you don't know what those are, instead of the 10-page comic book that releases, 1-part series, and we only release twice a year. So we're going to be releasing some graphic novels. And I actually just noticed that it's ooh for yo, Epic or Judgment. So we were going to be going through Judgment, but this is Epic. Yeah. And then Ashley Reno said, just need to maul her Sasser in the books?
Make her sassier.
Oh, make her sassier. Yeah, right.
I don't
Right.
think we can do that. She's already pretty well sassy.
Yeah, she's already doing graffiti and all sorts of stuff on there.
Yep.
But oh yeah, when her words come out, she'll be there. She'll be there.
They'll give her.
Right. And thanks for commenting, guys. Sorry I didn't get to those earlier. Hope I answered your question quick enough. It's Oofer 75.
What
Yeah.
What did Ufer ask?
If it was Evic or Judgment. So right now we're looking at Evic. So yeah, we're taking a. So there's a time period where Captain Walt or Commander Walt takes Marty and teaches him the ropes of the rebellion and sets him up. I don't want to say globally, like inner globally, right, Mike? With the knowledge that he needs to be successful, bringing him up. Right now he's a kid.
Yeah.
In our other book, he's the man.
That was the original idea of that to cover some time, and then I decided to rewrite it in a pretty short time period. A lot of conversation goes on, and a lot of events go in a rewrite.
Right.
And so again, a lot of what you drew can still work, but yeah, I changed the words from as they get away to just lost my train. Okay, the commander takes him from hideout to hideout to as they get away,
Right.
or travel, and then I have a long dialogue, so we can use some of those as dialogues taking place, the movement scene, some of the showing the broader picture, and
Right.
we'll be able to go back in, but we're going to have to edit it down to fit the rest of the story,
Yeah.
which I've shared with you guys on your text, our group text. But I don't know if you want me to continue to read that so we can know where we're at, or where we want to go with that. But I definitely think we can use it. But there's a dialogue that I can read if you'd like.
So first, let's just lock down what we're going to keep and what we're not going to keep in this book.
Okay.
So I'm going to back up to so this is page 3.
Uh-huh. Okay. So
Actually,
by
so
page,
technically page. Yeah. So
I need to,
1,
I
2,
need to
3.
be. I need to be to page 5. After the dialogue talk. So you've got a few. That means you got 4 pages.
Okay. So, after the dialogue talk being after they make an escape, is that the end of that?
So the dialogue can be the escape. That's where you can show scenery and hideouts. There
Gotcha.
can be stuff.
Gotcha. Because I mean, the blast is basically where we started, right? And I'm already on page.
So we may have to go right to the blast, page 2, and open up the blast.
So you wanna cut this first one? This all cut.
I mean, it's pretty cool, but I don't know if we can keep it.
That's fine. Yeah. It happens.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
and then
I would love.
no, I mean something that we just remember, right? And I'm just throwing no on these guys, all right? So I've still got the art, and
So we can sneak.
right. So this will be
graphic novel.
page 2. I'll just rename that as 2. All right, so we're done here. So that just as an artist and you know, our production team, our writing team, we just need to know that we haven't introduced that first page of JoJo yet. So we need to take time to make her. I mean, Ashley might be right on. Like, it might just be in humor in her interaction in the future, you know.
And I think as I start the script, you're definitely gonna get some of her in there.
Right. So we got the blast coming through. They're falling. They fall into the car, and then there is a scene of them getting away. Now I can have I can erase a little bit here, make sure I'm on the right page. It'll yell at me if I don't. Okay, so I can actually throw like lines here so that they're getting away, and we could actually have a bubble that came out like right here, like at a girl JoJo, or we could even do it here.
Yeah, to the couch.
Yeah.
Now to your top screen where they're falling through. What is to the left? So they're coming through. What is that?
This is just them falling.
Because you could
shows
have
them
her
falling.
tagging the wall in that image, and then have them falling as the other image.
Well,
Have her waiting.
and then that's one of the things is like she's on a motorcycle that goes into a car. So like the shell like hovers, and then her motorcycle falls out of it, you know, and so then we don't see that without those pages. So she's already in here.
Okay.
Unless they're gonna fall into an empty car and maybe her be on top.
No, that's okay.
You know.
I picture them falling into a car and her looking over her shoulder, looking back like, "Hey guys."
Right. What do our viewers think? Are we on the same page? Or are we going in the right direction? What are you thinking? Are you missing some of the content that's in there? Feel free to chime in. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
And so you're good with these three as page 2.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna go draw some. Wipe this one. It's just basically going to be a picture of.
Unless you want to put a lot of dialogue in that with that picture.
We can put a lot of dialogue in here.
Okay. Could we script that to half a page?
Sure. Yeah, that's easy enough. I mean, I can take this. It doesn't have to be pretty because we'll redo it. And I need to be on the right page. See, it yells at me. She yells at me. We can throw that up here.
Yeah.
You know, make like a box on it. And I always just rough these in. So if you ever look at it and be like, why are his boxes so rough? Because we like it. No.
Because I was thinking to the left of that, you could draw an image of JoJo, a close up of do elongated picture there. That's great.
There we go.
And then leave that top left for a JoJo close up driving the shuttle.
So and you're thinking, and I'll knock this out just real quick, just in like mask, like a front mask.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. With her hair billowing up of it, or
yeah, that's fine. Then we'll have her hair out. I spent a lot of time drawing, guys, and so I forget to.
So you're better at drawing dudes than you are at women?
Oh yeah.
Why does that chick have a beard?
That's right. And I really struggled. I mean, it's my daughter, you know. Like, how old do I make her, and in regards to like body parts, you know. And that was something that you just get past as an artist, I guess.
Well, but as a teenage girl, you don't have to really put much there. So.
Right.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about we can draw these images and this dialogue, I'm really thinking like the way we did our last page of book 3. We had a bunch of images in, and then we wrote the dialogue around the images, and so you got these dynamic pictures she drew, and then we still covered everything in my dialogue. We just moved it around.
Right.
And it'll fit just perfectly because he's basically telling him what's led up to this point while they're driving.
Right.
And we did a really good job of that in the last page of book 3 with the epic overview. You drew some great pictures, and then you have that description. So that's kind of the way that I'm thinking we're doing this, where we go in, and so you get to just do your coloring, do your drawing of this background, and as long as it's a story, we can have it all in there. She can be looking over the shoulder as a conversation's being had, and it'll be fine.
Right.
And so I don't even have to go over that dialogue. We just know a conversation is being had as they're getting away.
Yep.
And then after this page, it's going to lead into the trio are forced to land the damaged speeder because it's the speeder's taken damage.
Right.
From the getaway. So that's something, if we don't have where it took damage, we'll want in there because otherwise it won't match the crash. So even she could be saying that over the shoulder. The speeder, we might have to make this quick, guys. The speeder's taking damage or something. She can add that into her dialogue.
And then do we need a scene of the speeder being damaged? Do I need to move this down?
All the images that you just drew, are there another image of the speeder driving through the city?
Not really. I mean, there's a scene here where she's talking backwards.
See, I like that one. And you could just add smoke.
Yeah. Still that bad boy. And then put a city on it.
Yeah, instead of the storage containers. Those viewing it, if you're not understanding what's going on, again, we decided this time to show you the raw editing that takes place. When we throw stuff out, when we kind of have to, I don't want to say have to compromise, but we choose to compromise to make this story work.
I have to put it on my keyboard to make a paste.
And Walter does all the work, right, Rito?
Whatever.
That's right. You're the man. He's the one that gets all the cramps.
Yeah, there you go.
So Reno, I don't know if you have the dialogue I just sent you, but I'm to page 6 on my dialogue. I don't know what page he's on, but I didn't go through when I rewrote it. I fix all that, but yeah, if you scroll down.
Yep.
So this basically will sum up to that point, and then he'll get to do it. The trio are forced to land the damaged speeder and continue their escape on foot. And from what I'm counting, you've just used 3 pages or 2 pages?
We're on page 3 right now.
That's awesome. You've used 3 pages, but we're going to need it.
Yeah.
Did you want me
just fix some? Go
yeah,
ahead.
I got you. So did you want me to move? Let me get back in here.
Okay.
Did you want me to move this down and have her telling that beforehand?
Well, I think in your dynamic picture of her, that close-up picture of her, that's where she could be like.
Okay.
I mean,
it's okay to have
whatever,
the words down here.
in whatever sass that you want to give JoJo, like, dang, Speeder took some damage there. But
Yeah.
I'm picturing that page, letting you have a dynamic page where they crash into a group and blend into into a crowd. And so I'm picturing what I wrote here and then what you take, but I know you're not there yet, but the trio are forced to land the damaged speeder and continue their escape on foot. At one point, blending in with the crowd, they see a group of soldiers converging on their location. They duck into an alley, looking around. JoJo says, there's nowhere to hide. I picture that as a whole page.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just pulling
There's a lot that needs to go on in that section right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Mike. That's a full page.
and now we have the room for it.
Yep.
And that's what's so nice about this.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing. It's not that we're being mean, making you throw
No.
away or cut 2 pages. It's going, we're going to need it.
Yes, we are.
And we might have to do more cutting.
Well, and it's nice for everybody to, like, this happens all the time. You know, this might be the largest scale that we've done it. Trying to get that so that you guys can see what I'm doing here, but I'm just trying to figure out, like, I'm basically making a spacecraft to be chasing them. And then have some...
Forcing them down. Which is good because we've talked, you're an action artist. We just talked about that, you and me.
Yeah.
And so, yes, we like dialogue, but if we can let you have your action, you seem to do a lot better. And we can put in dialogue in the middle of it.
Yeah, my brain works better, and I study more, like action scenes and different things like that. They interest me more than... I have to be purposeful on faces. Like, it's just, I haven't put the time into them. I need to. So here what I'm doing is I'm just basically, I want to make this city skyline, and then I'll put some texture to it real quick. And this has got to be smoke. This will remind me that, because they don't really have a machine that's going to fire back right now. They're on a getaway vehicle, and the scenery is very futuristic, and so, like, this is the first, like, actual, like, city with jagged edges that we're gonna be putting in.
Now, I do have for you guys and the fans. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
you go. I got some drawing.
Okay. Our book 2, which is the Origins of Woe, which this is the sequel to that, was our black and white. We kind of used some manga style contrasting, but it was grays and whites, no color. We snuck in a little bit of color just to kind of pop some things out, but not a lot. Do we continue with that for the Origins of Woe? Or do we continue to sneak in a little bit of color to things? Not huge details, but maybe to like the graffiti, if she does graffiti, just key points. So what are your thoughts? Reno?
I say we throw a little bit in, but I do like the way we've been going with it on the just black and white. It's more, I don't know. To me, it's more classy, honestly.
Yeah, and I like it too, and it really, it was fun working with Walter on the contrasting.
Yes, it was.
I think also when he was coloring it. Is it coloring? What is it when you're shading and you're contrasting instead of color?
Well, I mean, it's almost flatting, like putting your flat colors. And so we put flat colors in to add dimension, and then we would go back with our color palette, and then continue to separate the forefront, from the background, and then where you want your reader's eyes to go. So it's still coloring. It would still like land on the colorer's job there, but I want this to seem like more or less of a canyon. Sorry, I'm doing two things at once. But
And it doesn't help that Eddie on the dialogue.
No, you're good. I think that we would consider it that coloring. I mean, especially when that's all you have in that book, you know. But it was a lot of like flatting.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think it really popped out your buildings and things. Just did a great job.
Right.
So I want to go back to Ashley's comment about making sure we include her sass.
Yeah.
In the conversation back and forth in this, we're definitely gonna be having JoJo sass and Walter. That's gonna be the shining moment, because Marty is the stranger at that point. He's new to the company, and so father and daughter are gonna have some banter. And so that page 4 that I know you haven't gotten to draw to, where I said the trio are forced to land.
Right.
And at one point, blending into the crowd, they duck into an alley to get away from the soldiers. Looking around, JoJo says, "There's nowhere to hide." But I just thought to add, off of what Ashley said, and to go back to your original comment of tagging the walls. Ooh, but this wall would make a nice tag, and she pulls out her spray can and starts painting.
That's awesome.
There you go.
So just a little sneak. I think you could fit it in. You can make it work, right?
Just a
Yeah.
bubble. Oh, I wish I would have brought my spray paint.
Or she pulls it out of her wall, or she could say, "I wish I would have brought my spray paint. This could have been a great wall to tag," and it just adds some of her. And Dad could go, "Not now, JoJo.
I think focus.
Now's not the time."
Focus.
Yeah. So that's definitely things that as we get into the story, that we start to add life. And I mean, looking at this guy on the bottom left of the screen, he is our dialogue king with the humor.
Yeah.
So he might not be the writing or the drawing, but when it comes to that creating personality, he's who we rely on.
Right.
So
I want
shout out to Mr. Reno.
to know how many people found squirrel. We've officially named one of our what are they called? Easter eggs.
Your hidden Easter eggs.
Yeah, we have officially named one of our Easter eggs Squirrel, and
Which I have lots of opportunities in this book for you to sneak in Squirrel. We're just not there yet.
Oh, I'm going for the honey badger on this one.
How's that? Oh, right, like yeah. Walter definitely named her Squirrel.
See what he did while we were talking, guys. He made a page. His 3 pages come together in 2 pages. Made it work.
And we'll make this look like city, and less like right now. It's kind of.
But you'll do a lot of that in your contrasting.
Yep.
Detail. So, but the concept's there, and that's really as we're storyboarding, we can see that.
Yep, for sure.
But the cool thing, we decided we're not afraid to reveal things on these lives to our fans. For one, we're not giving you the whole story. We're giving you bits and pieces. We're going to run out of time, so you're not going to get to see it. And then we're going to work on things without you, and we're not going to give you that behind-the-scenes stuff.
Right.
So you're going to go, oh, well, what happened? Mike talked an awful lot about them crashing and JoJo wanting to tag a wall, but we didn't get to see that happen. No, you didn't. When we get it out on print, buy the book.
That's right.
and see where we go from here, because this excites me.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as you thought it would be, was it, Walter?
No, I mean, I was prepared. I was prepared to just start over.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah. But I mean, some of it still follows dialogue.
He did go buy 3 bottles of whiskey yesterday just to get ready for it.
That's right. Just to get all primed.
We redo it all. I did all this work. Now I got to race back.
Still have the whiskey.
Yeah, all right. So that is page 3.
That is awesome. Page 3 puts us right there. Yeah. That actually gets me ahead, which helps because remember my rewriting, I added some stuff that really is more personable, but we cover a lot. We caught everybody up with and still have 15 minutes to spare. That's pretty good.
Time flies, though.
Yeah.
Time flies. How long is Linda here, Walt?
They leave on Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay.
Yep, they'll be at your store tomorrow to choose out some shirts.
Okay. We need to get some. Let me see what I can do about getting some stuff for them, other than the shirts.
Gotcha.
Some stuff we talked about.
You want to tell her who you're talking about?
Yeah, I want to send them home with something special. I want to send them home with something special.
But for our fans who don't know who you're talking about, who are you sending home something special with?
One of
Busty Babes.
Yeah, one of our Busty Babes is from
Busty Babes.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. She's down here with a couple of her friends, Rebecca and Marie, 2 amazing ladies.
Yeah.
Very fun to be around. They're down here for a week, and had my 2 uncles come in from California as well. So it's been a fun weekend for sure, seeing them all. They are big supporters of the comic books.
Yep. Yeah, they've been with us the whole way. Where are you going from there, big guy? So like,
It's page 2. The trio is forced to land,
Gotcha.
damage speeder, and continues their escape on foot.
So we almost need.
At one point, blending with the crowd, they see a group of soldiers converging on their location, so they're getting chased. They duck into an alley, and looking around, JoJo says, "There's nowhere to hide." But ooh, I could tag this wall. Not now, JoJo.
Right.
So that's your page, and that's super important to the next.
Yeah.
How that
next stuff goes out.
Yeah, and that's where, like, sometimes I have to read ahead to the artist, because if you don't know what's coming next, you don't know how you want to finish it, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so in that alley, the soldiers are coming, they're hiding. Just then, a young hobo boy gets their attention. So in the the end of our last book, or in the middle of our last book, there was scenes where not last book, but book 2, Origins. There was a scene where there was a guy getting drug away, and the young boy yelled in protest. He wasn't doing anything, and the guy yells, "Ryder, tell your mom I love her." So this is that boy, okay, living on the streets now. So we'll be able to go back to that boy. And Ryder's my nephew that lives in Missouri. So, and his dad getting drug away, that's my brother Joe. But he comes out and he says, "You guys need a safe place to hide." And he pushes a dumpster away from the wall, revealing a hidden passageway. And that would be a great place to hide, to have a certain squirrel.
Gotcha.
Not that anybody's going to remember that, unless they're taking notes.
We'll see.
But obviously, some of that's into the next page, but leading you what to expect.
So right now, I'm just trying to fit this on the screen here and get my dimensions. Something fun for everyone out there that's trying to use Procreate. I found that if I take my eraser and I lower the opacity, it's the bottom one, I can erase like an eraser, like if I'm on pencil. And so like right here, I'm just kind of putting in, you know, what my brain sees on like JoJo's head, putting in the torso and head of Captain Walt back here, making sure that everything kind of looks the same. I got Marty's falling down because they're diving now. They're going down, and but if I want, I can take this eraser, and then like it's still there. Like I can still see it, clean it up. I'm not erasing things for good and not losing my vision. So, little trick. I was gonna have her holding the, because I try to remember that she's driving a motorcycle essentially right now. The motorcycle comes up inside of the shell of a vehicle.
Unless we don't worry about it, because we didn't draw that in.
Right. I'll use
But
it.
it would be fun.
I'll use it.
You'll use it.
Yeah, I'll use it. That was a request. That was a request from our model. Yeah.
Well, if you led with that, gosh.
Yeah. It's all good, man.
Need to know, I guess.
It's a need to know.
I didn't need to know, so I cut it, and then I'm like, oh, crap, I can't cut that.
No, you cut it. We'll use it. It's all
Apparently
good.
I needed to know that. I'll have to fit it back in. Now that I know JoJo requested it, I'm not taking that.
She had a lot of fun getting dunked yesterday. And then we're just going to have some blur lines off the side here. Everything's going really fast.
I got to see JoJo's first game of baseball that I've ever watched the other night. She did a good job. I was impressed.
Yeah, she works hard at that sport. And she does good. She works hard at all of her sports. If she knows what she's missing, she'll put the work in. That's for sure.
Definitely fun to watch.
So we'll get them flying down. I mean, I'll throw this in later, but like Captain Walt's beard, little nose. We'll get him going. Marty's just getting smacked by Walt, basically holding him back. I could even put the briefcase hanging out.
Oh yeah, don't drop that. You know what? That's a detail that you hung on to and I didn't write in. See? You're paying attention. Good
Right?
job. Because I didn't write anything about that briefcase.
They still haven't opened it yet.
No. Which I guess I did write it later on.
And you want them to crash into like people or just like in a back alley kind of a deal?
Just into the roadway would be fine.
Just in the road.
I mean, I don't.
And is this major city or are we out of the city now?
Think of the city. I don't know if you remember the scene from Attack of the Clones, Star Wars, when Anakin and Obi-Wan are chasing the assassin. all through the city.
Okay.
And you're seeing all sorts of parts of the city. Anakin's hanging on the speeder, and the speeder goes down and crashes on the street.
Okay.
That's kind of my picture. Just, I mean, they didn't have to add in anything where people got blown up or killed. People stood back out of the way, made sounds of you know.
Ooh. So I want to make kind of a deal like that.
I know.
What does our poster child say? Do we need to add something in for her?
We're taking so long.
I wanted
Oh,
to have a shout out, you know. Walt survived a week with his kids. That's awesome. Good job, bud. Took him out shooting. All good dad stuff.
Oh yeah.
Those were hard weeks, man. When mom is out doing,
Exploring, seeing
yeah, or out on work or whatever. Like us guys take you guys for granted.
Had her first trip out of Idaho. Went to Vermont. Went to Lake Champlain.
Nice.
that's where you went, or that's where Ashley went?
That's where Ashley went.
It's a long ways from here.
Yeah, it's a little ways. Yeah, she's never been out of the state of Idaho. Farthest she's been is Lagoon, so Utah, I guess.
But that is a long gone away. That really
She got home last Wednesday. Then we shipped our son off to New Mexico with his dad. Everybody's traveling.
That'll be fun. He'll have good stories.
Oh yeah. Promise me he can bring back some good hot sauce, so we'll see.
Man, I was wanting some hatch green chilies, baby. I was wanting some hatch green chilies.
I don't know how to tell you this, Walt, but I had a pretty good spam and egg sandwich earlier.
Heck yeah, dude. You remember when spam was cheap?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you remember when it was cheap?
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Like now it's like $4 a can, bro. I'm like, seriously? I blame Adam Sandler. You remember 50 First Dates? He's in there and they always have spam. Like, I swear, dude, like spam got expensive because of that movie.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Adam.
It was a great movie, Adam. Make another one.
Yeah.
I'll play in it.
I'll eat all the spam you can get me.
Sharks only bite when you touch the private parts. That's not true. Really?
We're at 4 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to hash over before we run out of time?
Well, we missed everybody this last weekend. How's everybody's Father's Day?
It was really good.
We did. That was the reason, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Two of us were prepared. Yep.
Yeah, I got
Father's
a text message in the movie theater. Hey, where you at? I was like, dang it. My bad, boys. My bad.
We were ready to go.
Yeah. I guess we could have gone on and drawn something, maybe.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't have got as good of a show. And we don't know how to do any of the... No, that's how important Mr. Walter is. We couldn't do anything without.
Means of a misspent youth. That's right. Walt's got you.
We were a creek without a paddle without him.
Yep. Also, we had the Mills on Wheels fundraiser, the cornhole tournament, that Wasted Wages put on. They raised a little under $2,700. to be donated to the Meals on Wheels for Casuarina County and Minidoka County. So that was a good turnout. We had some raffles in there, and everybody was excited.
It did see quite a bit get put in on our donation. So someone got some signed copies, and our tumblers, keychains. It's fun.
Fly shotgun, salt shotgun.
That's awesome.
That was a good turnout. Very good turnout. It's stuff like that, that's not possible without our fans. So, we can go do all the stuff we want, but it's not possible without you guys. So we appreciate every single one of you.
Heck yeah.
We sure do. Walter, it's coming together, man. We went from half of the edit out, and basically are making that fourth page come together. That's what we do, guys.
Yep.
Well, that's what Walter does.
Yeah.
He just laughed.
That's what we do.
Don't be modest. We know you do all the work. We're okay with that.
That's
Really, we are.
Kind of have to be.
We kind of have to be okay with him doing all the work.
Yeah, we kind of have to be good. Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah. We don't have a choice. We don't have the talent.
Nope.
And I'm okay with that.
That's right. That's why they're teams.
That's right.
We all have our strengths, and the great thing about it, I think we all recognize each other's strengths. I was pointing out Reno's ability for the dialogue. I mean, we all, and we couldn't do it without each other. We all have important parts to play in this. But this was a fun little editing session, not as painful as we were thinking it was going to be. Thank you for being a part of it. We are out of time. Anything to add there, artist?
Stay tuned. We've got... My head was down. We've got some cool things coming out. Like I was saying, we went through and we put together Barrel of Origins. We've got 4 books already penciled, and we're looking at releasing that as a on-demand, hardbound graphic novel. We've got a lot of friends and family out there that like graphic novels more, and but keep your ear down on the ground. Stay here with us, and we'll keep you updated on that. What we're looking at is the Origin of Barrels coming out, Origin of the Busty Babes, and then Origin of Arsenal, and then Origin of Sasquatch. In fact, Barrel goes into Sasquatch, Busty Babes, and Arsenal will end on a special limited edition. So
keep in mind, most of those except for Art Barrel are all code names, because we haven't come settled down Busty Babes book name yet, or Sasquatches.
Right. But it's all of our heroes and villains, and it's, I don't know if it's too much information. You probably won't remember it by then, but a lot of our lady friends are going to help us in the final war. They're bad right now, but love will prevail, and they'll be back on our side somehow. You'll have to see. So,
and we're going to let the Busty Babes be good?
Hey, man, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, that's a discussion we have yet to have with them, right?
That's right. Some of our family members just want to be bad guys. It is what it is. So
I don't know how many people have asked us to be bad guys. That's the funny thing is, who wakes up in the morning and says, "I want to be a bad guy"?
I want to be a villain. That's probably this guy too. Yeah, it's like I want to be like Punisher or Deadpool, where they're like an anti-villain or something. But
Good to bad.
yep, good but bad. So yeah, we'll get it going and maybe be able to get Busty Babes on next time or something. But thanks for being here with us, everybody.
Be raw.
Yep. Stay raw.
Be vulnerable.
Stay vulnerable. Bye now.